Honey,
What?
you know what's right around the corner? America! Fuck yeah! Shitting on the lower class now, America! Fuck yeah! Jesus is the only way now. What is up, heathens? It's America weekend. This is America weekend, people. I hope you're ready for America. I got my fidget spinner all ready. Yes, I do have an American flag fidget spinner because it is all up in the hizzy tonight with the fidget spinning and Americanness. I got it. Just so everybody knows, this is a prop. Shut up. Nope, she lies. I do not use it all the time. It's going away soon. I'll be quite honest. I cannot see through America in my glasses, so I can't really see all that good of the comments there. And so what we're going to be looking at is some David Barton. I need to set the stage for David Barton, okay? Because this fuckwit is just all over the place in the past year. He has a fake PhD. He's been on record saying, I got a PhD. He ain't got a PhD. He wrote this whole book called Lying About Jefferson or something like that. It was pulled from the shelves because it contained so little factual information. Like it just had lies throughout it about Thomas Jefferson. It's crazy. Well, tonight we're looking at a video by him, and it's concerning the founding of the nation and, all that kind of good jazz. And, getting at the core of it, are we a Christian nation? Are we based on Judeo-Christian values? And I think after watching this video, you'll have to look at yourself and say, God damn, these people are so fucking stupid. Because they are. Everything that he mentions is totally stupid. That's the short answer. You're looking for a short answer for tonight. It's this guy is fucking retarded beyond repair. That's the answer. That's short answer number one. All right. Fidget spinner is a spinning. Let's get this autistic rant on the way.
You look at the laws, they cover every single issue you can think of today.
Oh, yes. Okay, let's see. All of the 613 laws of the Bible covers taxes, debt, economy, welfare, healthcare, education. Hey, you know what? Healthcare? I know exactly which one that is. That's the law that says, hey, don't you dare boil a calf in its own mother's milk. You do that and you'll definitely get some kind of cancer AIDS. Yes, cancer AIDS is a thing. It's prophesied in the Bible. I can figure it out.
Military, taxes, education, restitution, juvenile justice, you name it. It's all abortions covered there. Killing unborn in the womb. It's all in God's law.
You can only do it if you sip on that one magical drink from the guy that you get that's right next to the temple. You go there and be like, look, I don't know if it's the right baby, and he gives you he slips you something, and then you'll figure it out. I mean, either you'll have a baby or you won't. Also, a swift kick to the stomach will do it too.
613 laws, which means every single thing we face as a nation today, we've already dealt with because God built a nation. He knows how to build nations. He knows everything a nation needs and how it ought to be run.
Okay. Why didn't he give us the democratic system way, way before? Because, we got that whole Middle Age period where, fucking kings and shit were ruling. And there was no democracy at all. And the church, God, was placed ahead of the government. What happened then? Did everything just go run amok shitty all kind of ways? I mean, I don't know what happened at that point. God was in charge of everything, and he fucked it up, and he stopped us from scientifically progressing into, if the Middle Ages wouldn't have happened, we would have flying cars right now. So God is responsible for no flying cars. Fuck you, God. We want our American trucks to fly in the air and pump that diesel right into the atmosphere or whatever. That's a real fetish. People get these big diesel trucks and they'll just sit out there and they'll just gun it and they'll just pump smog into it. It's like they gun it, they masturbate, and then they pop their load when they run out of gas. Coal rolling?
That's what he gave his people. But what we have is, if you look on either presidential candidate's website, you'll see 30 to 50 issues. It's been that way since 1980s. There's 30 to 50 presidential issues that come up every single. I've been involved in a bunch of presidential elections. I've been
That explains why we're in such a fucking shitty ass situation now. Thank you so much, David Barton, for fucking up our shit.
Consultant in presidential elections and all these other elections. I was elected official myself. And so we go down through all this stuff and 30 to 50 issues, but they're not all the same value. And that's why God says, okay, guys, I've given you 613 laws, but I really need you to understand that out of those 613, some laws are more important than others. As a matter of fact, let me just give you my top 10.
Oh, okay, so he whittles down the 613 to the top 10. Honey, do you know what the first 4 fucking laws are? Boom! Thou shalt not have no other God before me. First 4 laws of the 10 Commandments, fucking dick-sucking God. That's all it is. You basically got to rub your face in his crotch and deep throat that dick. Those are the first 4 laws of the 10 Commandments. I'm glad that those 4 were up there. Redundant as fuck, but yet he couldn't work something in there like, oh yeah, guys, don't rape kids. I know you're going to do it a lot in the future. I'm telling you right now, don't fucking do it.
And he gives the top 10. And those 10 we often call the 10 Commandments, but I love the way God describes it in Exodus 20.
Let's see. The tenor of his law. Okay. I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not have no gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Hey, that's what the Muzzies say. Why we got Muslim shit on our courthouses, guys? Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. So I can't go to a courthouse and say, God damn it. Like, is God damn it against the law? Oh yeah, but I mean, he's saying that America is based on these Judeo-Christian values, that he built this country. This is one of them. Can I not go outside and say, God damn it? Or is free speech just not a thing? Not according to this prick. This prick says no to free speech. Also, no to free thought. Because the first 4 laws are, I am Yahweh, I am the only God. Exactly. Hear me roar like goddamn Mufasa falling off of that goddamn ledge.
3, he says, these 10, this is the tenor of my laws. These 10, this is the heart and the soul and the guts of mine. This is the backbone around which the whole legal code is built.
This is the whole backbone of the legal code? There's only 3 of the motherfuckers up there that are actually laws. That would be like having a backbone, but you're missing like, I don't know, like 5 vertebrae or 7 vertebrae. I can't maths with these glasses on. America doesn't maths. You're a spineless, thing. It's like you're a jellyfish. That ain't no fidget spinner I want to be a part of.
So that's the most important stuff. So if you look at those 10, his top 10, God gives us his top 10, and you look at that today, any of them apply in this election? Absolutely. Number 1 right off the top, it says, I'm the Lord thy God. That's public religious acknowledgments.
What? No, don't twist it there, David Barton, douchebag. Public religious acknowledgments? No, that is, you are Christian. Technically not Christian, but you worship the Abrahamic God. Like, I am the Lord your God. Like, that is saying that he is the only God, that he is the supreme God or whatever. Like, that's a religious affirmation. That's not, oh, you're free to make public religious announcements. No. This is restricting free thought. First one right out the gate restricts free thought. I just have to say that is nowhere in our legal code, like fucking at all. You go right ahead and worship that blue elephant, honey. But David Barton here seems to think that in America you can't worship blue elephant fucking multi-armed motherfuckers.
Are you going to support letting a kid say God at graduation? Are you going to support letting a photographer say I can't participate in a homosexual wedding? Are you going to let their acknowledgement of God control the way they behave, or you can make them conform to the state?
Wow. I love how he twisted this little part right here. Because he twisted into, it's like, I am the Lord your God. Oh, well, that means that I can definitely deny these homos a cake. Like that right there, right off the bat. Fuck the Supreme Court. Although, oddly enough, there's a video out there where he uses the Supreme Court in order to justify this whole idea that we were built on a Christian nation or Christian foundation or something like that. He uses the Supreme Court because the Supreme Court writes their little dissents or their little things about decisions. And one of them said that we were definitely built on Christian values. He uses that as evidence that we were indeed a Christian nation. It's really fucking ridiculous. But listen, this is what I have to say about the whole Christians getting all pissy about making cakes for homosexuals, okay? If you run a public business, you have to abide by the Civil Rights Act. You cannot discriminate based on sex, gender, race, nationality, religion, any of that kind of thing. And I think that this is a solid argument, but discriminating against homosexuals is technically gender discrimination. I understand that, but I think that you could also lump it into gender discrimination. Okay, so it's two: sexuality and familial status. Boom, David Barton, get fucked by the Constitution, motherfucker.
And so, by the way, that's where religious conscience comes in. In the 1600s, 1700s, or 1800s, nobody in America talked about freedom of religion. All they talked about was freedom of conscience. In the 20th century, we narrowed freedom of conscience down to freedom of religion.
Whoa. Freedom of conscience gets narrowed down to freedom of religion? Well, I mean, I don't understand how the two are... How are the two linked? Like, how is freedom of conscience linked to freedom of religion? Like, it's not a narrowing down. Like, it's not narrowed down. We still have freedom of conscience. I don't understand what he means here. Like, this just seems like word salad.
In the 21st century, we've narrowed it even more to freedom of worship.
What? No, we still have freedom of religion. What the fuck is he talking about at this point? We've narrowed this thing down like a pencil, and we've written "fuck God" with the pencil. Like, I feel like that's the next point for this motherfucker right here.
Freedom of conscience is the big thing, and again, 30 verses in the New Testament on that. So that's the big issue. So that's
no. The New Testament isn't about freedom of conscience or free will. Like, you can't have it under Christianity. Like, they love to spout free will, but you can't actually have free will under Christianity because you either submit or you burn in hell for eternity and get pineapples shoved up your ass. Look, well, yeah, they feign it with, but you get to choose to do that, or you get to choose to submit. It's not really a choice. It's like holding a gun to your head. It's like, I can pull the trigger now, or you can start running and I'll pull the trigger then. Like, that's not a choice. You're still gonna fucking shoot me.
Presidential question I can ask. Where are you on public religious acknowledgement and the rights of conscience? Will you protect the rights of chaplains and of bakers and of florists and all these others who want to stand for what God's put in their heart to stand for? Or are you going to punish them for doing that?
Well, if you're going to discriminate based on gender or sexuality, then yes, you definitely do get in trouble, because we have passed laws to protect those kind of people. Because guess what? A majority gets into power, or maybe there's just some kind of social norm that's already around, and we want to change that. Well, guess what? We fucking make a law about it. Like, now, a lot of people think that you should be able to deny service to anybody anywhere. But guess what? We had a full fucking 20 years fighting that shit. I think Martin Luther King would walk up on somebody like that and shove his foot about 3 feet deep in his asshole.
That's a simple question. That's one of God's top 10. You also have...
Also, not one of God's top 10, don't rape little kids. I mean, considering the prevalence of most of his people, like, raping fucking kids throughout history, I would say that would have been a prime one to put up there in the 10 Commandments, but fuck it if he didn't think that far ahead.
This one, thou shalt not commit adultery. What's that? God says, look, I want sexuality between a man and a woman inside marriage. Anything other than that's wrong. Doesn't matter.
Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how he pulls that. Like, and that's not even a law. Like, that used to be a law. Like if you committed adultery, that used to be a law, but it's not a law anymore. I mean, that's not part of American law. There's no law out there that says I can't suck dick. Yes, there were laws about sodomy, and there still are some on the books, but they're not enforceable. Blue laws were very rampant, and they were used to target the LGBT community back when they were first instantiated, but they went through the process. And see, this is how the American government is different from a lot of places, is because we actually work off of case law. Once the Supreme Court rules on something, or there's a prior court ruling on something, then that's in effect a law. And so, I mean, that's how it can change, and it's very fluid, like our legal system. So, I mean, it's a good thing, because the Obergefell v. Supreme Court or whatever, Obergefell, that decision legalized LGBT marriage across the country because it was a Supreme Court decision. That's not in the 10 Commandments or the Bible.
Whether sex before marriage, sex outside of marriage, or homosexuality, anything other than man and woman in marriage, that's marriage protection. Now, you can check where candidates are on marriage protection real easy. What do they think?
I can guarantee you most of the candidates have committed adultery. Yeah, the president pretty much, banged his way through about, 3-4 wives, and, like, each one was a successive person that he, like, he committed adultery with. So, and this was done in 2016. This was during presidential race last year. I can guarantee you that most of those people have went outside their marriage. So, I mean, what are you trying to pull here, buddy?
Think about traditional family. They think, oh, I don't like the man-woman arrangement. I like something else. That's not what God says. And the final one I'll give you.
That's a bullshit reason to deny somebody the right to be happy. I mean, yeah, they always felt like the right to liberty, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. They always spout that off as being some kind of glorious thing that God said that we needed, but yet they want to restrict the happiness of people. It's like, no. I didn't mean your happiness. I meant my happiness, because my ass is more important than your ass, is basically what they're saying.
Is this one. Don't kill. Now, every time in the Bible, and by the way, we know in Hebrew that doesn't say kill, it says don't murder, don't shed innocent blood. The Bible is really clear. Whenever you shed innocent blood, you bring a curse on the land. Ooh, I think that applies to abortion.
Oh, my goodness. You know what's really funny is that most abortions happen before they have blood. So even your logic here is kind of fucky when it concerns abortion. If you want to talk about late-term abortions, then I don't know. It doesn't necessarily, mean the spilling of innocent blood. It depends on how you do it. Partial birth abortions are illegal, so that's kind of out. Women need to be able to have abortions at any point during their pregnancy because, if a baby has been found that it is not going to survive birth, sometimes they will do a later term abortion. But there has to be specific circumstances in which that happens. So the shedding of innocent blood does not in any way reflect on this particular commandment. While murdering and killing is against the law, murdering and killing wasn't new to Christianity. It wasn't new to Judaism. We had the Code of Hammurabi way before that. That was like, don't fucking kill people. Like, that's a basic tenet of goddamn civilization. It doesn't take a genius to be like, well, look, if we're going to have a civilization, should we really just go around letting each other kill each other? I mean, Joe over there killed the other guy because he kicked his rock last week. Like, it doesn't take a whole lot of common sense to know, hey, if we're going to have this city here, we can't have everybody killing everybody, because then that wouldn't be a city.
So those are 5 issues you can take and go to the bank with. You take those issues, and again, just finishing up here, the first one up top is abortion. Then you have marriage protection, sexuality, religious acknowledgments of conscience, judges, and Israel. But my issue is immigration. Okay, that's great, but it can only be number 6 on the list. Immigration can't be the first issue a Christian votes over because it doesn't make the top 10. That's the kind of stuff that makes the top 10.
Oh, now he's telling people how they should vote or what issues they should concern themselves over. Like, you don't have a good reason to put abortion above consciousness. Like that's such an arbitrary and subjective list. It's like, well, you got to put this one first. Sir, that one right there talks about how you shouldn't be gay. Well, you know what? That's just the first one that I picked. And all you other people out there that are gay, you just need to put it down. Stop it. Stop it. I'll fidget spin you to death.
Yeah, but my issue is climate protection. Great. Make that issue number 6 when you vote, but it can't be in the top. See, thinking biblically, these are the issues God will create righteousness on, and righteousness is what exalts the nation.
Now it's over. That's it. That's all for that. It pretty much boiled down to, here's an arbitrary list of things, and now I'm going to make up shit to connect them to the 10 Commandments. Even though we don't follow all 613 of these fucking rules, I'm going to make sure I relate them directly to the government. But you got to get these 10 up here. I know God didn't put rape up there, but you can't focus on rape. Let's just pretend like it doesn't happen like we always do. That way it can perpetuate and keep on going and going. But abortion's up there because it says don't kill, even though, the whole shedding of the blood thing doesn't apply to most abortions. And even when they're late-term abortions, they have to be under specific conditions to which either the mother's going to die or the baby will definitely die afterwards. So I guess that one doesn't really matter, but still abortion is up there. It's right. You can't worry about immigration. That can't be important. abortion has to be. You see, I love how he talks about freedom of conscience and freedom of religion and freedom of all of this other stuff and how we're based on this wonderful religion of Christianity, when the entire point of his spiel there was to tell Christians what to think, is to tell them how they should vote. Like, that in no way screams fucking freedom, like, at all. I don't get it. I don't understand how somebody can listen to that and be like, well, if we're free, why are you telling us to do stuff and how we're not supposed to do it any other way? Also, why is the first 4 telling us to suck God's dick? Like, I'm not prepared to suck no Jesus dick right now, okay? It's just a little bit too thick for me. All right, guys. Well, I hope that you liked this little stream tonight. I hope that you guys found it a little bit entertaining. If you did, think about giving it a share, give it a like, do whatever, react appropriately. That's going to be it from me tonight. I'm going to go and watch the Lorax with my son in Case C, and I guess we'll see you heathens later. I hope you guys have a lovely weekend. We'll be back on Monday for another special GE show centered around American fidget spinning and all of the tactics you need to, destroy your relationship. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you heathens later. And don't forget that it's very important to stand up and use your voice. Bye, guys.